about.
I'm not holding it against you. I'm just saying I can do the same fucking thing. It's a woman's world now, my friend.
When a chick is sucking your horn and you pop it out of their mouth and hit them in the face with it, then put it back in their mouth like a fucking yum-yum stick.
Like a little yum-yum.
Women love all those.
Like a little golf swing.
What do you think, cocksucker? You
No, I've never smacked a girl in the face. That's crazy.
Come on.
You whip that dick out. They're focused on the dick. You can see it. It's like that last dick they're going to suck. And once they close their eyes, it's all time. And you take it out. They don't even know what's happening. They don't even know what's happening. They're still in the air like sucking something. And all of a sudden you just fucking whip them in the face right here. With your dick 2 times. And then they don't even know what's going on. They start looking around. And then you put it right in their mouth and they go right back into rhythm. And then
they start humming too, so it acts like a nice little vibration. Because they're trying to yell at you, but there's a dick in their mouth.
And then you ask them, you like when I hit you in the face with that fucking, with that steer of death, don't you?
Yeah, so why can't I do that with my clit? What's wrong with that? Except I jam it up their nose too sometimes, just to be funny.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. Because people are going to contact you and want pictures of your clit now. How long have you, and where did you start? Orlando?
Orlando, Florida.
Is that where you're from? Originally?
One of the few people that are actually born there.
A lot of fucking, I did not know Orlando was filled with that many fucking Puerto Ricans.
I'm not Puerto Rican, but there is a ton of them.
There's a ton of them there. I did not know that. Years ago, I played.
What made you think about the Puerto Ricans?
Because there's tons of them there. When you go to Orlando,
that's where they keep them.
How far is Tampa from Orlando?
Like an hour?
Yes. So I did Tampa, Orlando for a Spanish woman. Her son was a boxer, and she had
the Camachos.
I don't know. She would book rooms.
Yeah. I did a couple of those rooms.
She tried booking rooms. That was one of the saddest nights of my life.
Why? Tell me. What happened?
Puerto Ricans don't like you?
This was the Facebook. This was the MySpace days. And I was writing a blog. And I don't know what she was thinking. She hits me up on MySpace, and she, very nice lady, real attractive. Attractive. Older, you know. Well, she was younger than me at the time, but whatever. She asked me if I wanted to come, that she was a promoter, and what was my fee. And I asked her for like a low number.
How much? What was your fee back then?
I think I asked her for $750 a show.
For each show?
Yeah.
How many shows?
One show.
Just one show each night in each place?
Each night, yeah.
Okay.
And a plane ticket. And a hotel to pick me up at the airport. And she was like, no problem. Okay. So I fly down there the first night. We do tons of fucking radio Friday morning. Spanish, black, white. This is a long fucking time ago. You know, reggaeton. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. I did a ton of radio. And the first night, we got about 100 people in Orlando, maybe. Then the next day, I had to go to Tampa. And I remember going to the hotel and walking around, and I couldn't believe how many fucking New Yorkers were in Tampa. Like,
New York and Ohio, they all go there.
Oh my God. Everything is New York City based. I'm walking down the block.
New York pizza.
Everything was New York, and they really are from New York, and they really are who they say they are.
Yeah.
I mean, the pizzas, everything. In Tampa, those people down there, I remember walking and seeing a yellow and blue umbrella and going, am I fucking hallucinating? There's sad bread hot dogs in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
And I walked up to the guy and I go, how you doing? Are these really sad breads? The guy's like, yeah, I'm a retired fireman. I moved down here after I retired, and I saw hot dogs. And he had the onions, the bun, the
and here's, you know what the trick is they boil them, and you put a little bit of red wine vinegar in the water, and that's what makes them all extra sabretti. That's what it is.
Fucking sad breads
so
are
good.
Delicious. And the guy told me, he goes, you know, that's where the Yankees have their
spring training.
Spring training. So it's like everybody's from New York down there. I did not know it. So we get to Tampa, and it's tonight. Somebody's fighting in the UFC. I know, you know who it was for sure? The guy we had on years ago, that he showed up on a Monday night, and we had somebody else there, He fought Anderson Silva, beat him up. He's from Ohio. Anderson Silva beat him up 2 times. He was the world champion. This is how long ago it was. He was fighting somebody else. We must have had 16 people at that show.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
You still pay? She still pay you?
And she came up to me. This is one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my life. Because by that time, I had it with those type of promoters.
Yeah.
The night of the show, they pull you aside and go, let me holler at you for a second.
That's always when you know you're gonna
Okay.
it's gonna be some
people,
bullshit.
Think about if I offer you a job, Joey, I'm going to be a graphic designer. You're going to get 40 hours every week at $30 an hour. And every week I pull you aside and go, hey, man, I know you worked 40 hours, but I'm only going to pay you for 20. You know what? It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at any level.
No, it's fucking ridiculous.
It's fucking ridiculous. And they're all making money. Like I worked, what led into this situation, not to let anybody or Carmen or Lee to judge me in the wrong way, was I got involved for 3 years with just bad promoters. Like I went from one to another. It's the luck of the draw in comedy. We're all whores at that point. We need money and we want to do big venues and we want to get better at comedy.
Yeah, sure.
So when you dedicate yourself to the road, Rich Franklin. So Rich Franklin was fighting. But to lead up to this, I got involved with the Latino Nights of Comedy. Mm-hmm. He says he was the promoter of Earth, Wind, and Fire. He had this long resume. He'd call you on the phone and give you an ear beating.
Oh, jeez.
I took 3 beatings from him. 3 beatings. The first one was I understood, let me holler at you. Listen, I can't give you the 500, I promised you. I'm only going to be able to give you 300, but I brought you a little bag of reefer just to let you know I'm in your corner, you know. And after a while, you get people, think of people doing that to you every week. Then the second time I worked for him.
At some point, it's like you're insulting my intelligence at this point.
Oh, my
you know?
God. Then the second time I worked for him, there was something else that was fucked up. He did something with the plane tickets. So we had to take a bus, and it was all night long. And then the third time I worked for him, I got 3/4 of the money. But at 3 a.m, my door was knocking. He had ran out on the tab on the radio station. The police were there.
Wow.
The manager of the venue and the ad people were waiting for their fucking money. And that's when I said I can't work for him.
Yeah, if they're not getting their money, what makes you think he's ever going to give you your fucking money?
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.